Yellow sac spider. This genus earns the 10th position for delivering defensive bites notably more painful than typical household spider encounters. Caracanthium species display unusual aggression when protecting egg sacs, actively pursuing threats rather than simply fleeing like most spiders. Victims consistently compare the immediate sensation to a hornet or wasp sting, with sharp burning pain at the bite site followed by localized redness, swelling, and persistent itching. The pain typically resolves within 7 to 10 days, though the initial experience is documented in toxinological literature as significantly more unpleasant than bites from common domestic spiders. These pale yellow to beige spiders measure 8 to 10 millimeters in body length and construct silken retreats in rolled leaves, under bark, or in building corners rather than spinning traditional webs. The genus occurs worldwide in temperate and tropical regions, with Caracanthium inclusum and Caracanthium milday being the most medically significant North American and European species, respectively. Unlike many spiders that bite only when accidentally crushed against skin, yellow sac spiders demonstrate defensive behavior when their silk retreats are disturbed, leading to a higher incidence of bites during summer months when they wander at night seeking prey. Mouse spiders. This Australian genus ranks 9th despite possessing massive fangs capable of deep mechanical trauma and venom compositions similar to funnel web spiders. Miscellina species are frequently confused with funnel webs due to their robust appearance, glossy carapace, and aggressive defensive posture, though they belong to the family Actinopodidae rather than Atracidae. When envenomation occurs, the pain is immediate and intense, with victims reporting sharp burning sensations, frequently progressing to systemic symptoms including nausea, vomiting, profuse sweating, and muscle twitching. However, mouse spiders frequently deliver dry bites without injecting venom, leading to significantly lower clinical frequency of severe envenomation compared to their funnel web relatives. The genus comprises 10 species distributed across mainland Australia, with the eastern mouse spider and red-headed mouse spider being most commonly encountered, reaching body lengths of 25 to 35 millimeters, with females substantially larger than males. These trapdoor spiders inhabit deep burrows up to 30 centimeters deep, sealed with hinged silk doors, emerging primarily at night to ambush passing prey. The fangs can exceed 6 millimeters in length on large females, capable of penetrating fingernails and causing significant mechanical damage even in dry bite scenarios where no venom is injected. Baboon spiders. These aggressive old-world tarantulas from Africa occupy the 8th position for their extreme defensiveness and potent neurotoxic venom. The genus Tarantulas includes the orange baboon tarantula, while Pelanobius contains the massive king baboon spider, both notorious in the tarantula keeping hobby for unpredictable temperament and medically significant bites. The king baboon spider possesses fangs exceeding 12 millimeters, capable of causing deep mechanical trauma and profuse bleeding, while the orange baboon tarantula delivers bites described as causing intense local fire and episodic agonizing muscle cramps lasting hours to days. Unlike New World tarantulas, which primarily defend themselves by flicking urticating hairs that cause skin and respiratory irritation, African baboon spiders lack these defensive hairs entirely and rely solely on far more potent venom for protection. Victims report immediate burning pain at the bite site, followed by radiating pain throughout the affected limb, severe muscle cramping, nausea, excessive sweating, and in some cases temporary localized paralysis. These large terrestrial tarantulas reach leg spans of 15 to 20 centimeters and inhabit scrubland and savanna regions across southern and eastern Africa, constructing deep silk-lined burrows in termite mounds or beneath rocks. The venom contains complex neurotoxins that cause persistent pain and muscle dysfunction for days to weeks following envenomation. Six-eyed sand spider. This reclusive desert species ranks 7th for possessing uniquely devastating hemolytic and necrotic venom despite extremely rare human encounters. The genus Sicarius in South America and closely related Hexothalma in southern Africa represent some of the most medically significant spiders globally based purely on venom potency, though their remote habitat and non-aggressive nature result in almost no documented bites. Victims report intense burning pain at the bite site, followed by progressive tissue destruction, blood vessel rupture, and widespread necrosis far exceeding that caused by recluse spiders. The venom contains powerful enzymes capable of inducing disseminated intravascular coagulation, where blood clots form throughout the body's small vessels, while simultaneously thinning blood and destroying red blood cells, creating a paradoxical and life-threatening coagulopathy. These medium-sized spiders reach body lengths of 8 to 15 millimeters, with distinctive flattened cephalothorax and legs covered in specialized setae that allow them to bury themselves in loose sand, remaining virtually invisible to prey and predators. They inhabit sandy deserts and dune systems of southern Africa and western South America, emerging at night to ambush small arthropods and beetles. No antivenom exists for six-eyed sand spider envenomation, and treatment remains purely supportive, though the species' retiring nature and habitat specialization makes bites extraordinarily uncommon. Northern tree funnel web spider. This arboreal species claims the 6th position as potential potentially the most dangerous funnel web, with 63% of bites resulting in severe systemic envenomation compared to lower rates in ground-dwelling relatives. Hadronike formidabilis represents the largest member of the funnel web family, with females reaching body lengths exceeding 5 centimeters and leg spans of 12 centimeters, substantially larger than the more famous Sydney funnel web. The pain is immediate, sharp, and intense, fueled by massive venom volume and mechanical trauma from fangs exceeding 8 millimeters in length, capable of penetrating through fingernails and light footwear. Victims report burning sensations at the bite site, followed rapidly by tongue numbness, muscle twitching, profuse sweating, increased salivation, nausea, vomiting, and potentially life-threatening symptoms including severe hypertension and pulmonary edema. The species inhabits wet sclerophyll forests and rainforests of northern New South Wales and southeastern Queensland, constructing tubular silk retreats in tree hollows, under bark, and in epiphytic ferns up to 30 meters above ground. Unlike ground-dwelling funnel webs that generally remain near burrow entrances, the northern tree funnel web actively wanders during warm, humid nights and frequently enters homes, increasing encounter frequency. The venom contains delta-atrichotoxins similar to but distinct from Sydney funnel web toxins. And while funnel web antivenom proves effective, the higher envenomation rate and larger venom volume make this species particularly medically significant. Black widow and redback spiders. This globally distributed genus occupies fifth position for producing generalized severe, unrelenting pain following initially minor bites. Latrodecta species, including the black widow, redback, and brown widow, possess the neurotoxin alpha-latrotoxin, which triggers catastrophic neurotransmitter release, causing tetanus like muscle contractions and characteristically rigid board-like abdomen. While the initial bite may feel like a minor pinprick, often going unnoticed, the subsequent pain typically begins within 20 minutes to 2 hours and radiates from the bite site to large muscles of the chest, abdomen, back, and limbs. Victims describe the sensation as deep muscle cramping and burning that intensifies over several hours, with severe cases producing agonizing muscle spasms, hypertension, profuse sweating, nausea, vomiting, and respiratory difficulty requiring hospitalization. The pain and muscle rigidity can persist for days to weeks, even with antivenom treatment, though fatalities are now extremely rare. Female black widows measure 8 to 13 millimeters in body length, with characteristic glossy black coloration and red hourglass marking on the ventral abdomen, while males are substantially smaller and harmless. The genus occurs on every continent except Antarctica, with 31 recognized species, inhabiting dark, undisturbed areas including woodpiles, sheds, outdoor toilets, and debris. The redback spider, endemic to Australia, accounts for thousands of bites annually, with approximately 10% requiring anti-venom administration for severe latrodectism symptoms. Chilean recluse spider. This South American species earns fourth position for extreme delayed agony, developing within 24 hours of initially painless bites. Loxosceles laeta represents the most medically significant recluse spider globally, producing necrotic arachnidism at substantially higher rates than its North American relative, the brown recluse. Approximately half of victims feel little to no pain at the moment of envenomation, yet 96% report severe pain within 24 hours as the venom's cytotoxic effects trigger massive tissue destruction. This delayed cytokine pain pattern evolves into deep-throbbing ache as dermonecrotic toxins destroy cell membranes and blood vessels, with 30% of patients reporting unspeakable pain levels of 9 or 10 on a 10-point scale. The venom contains sphingomyelinase D enzymes that cause gravitational spreading necrotic lesions potentially exceeding 30 centimeters in diameter, requiring extensive surgical debridement and skin grafting. Systemic loxoscelism occurs in approximately 15% of cases, producing life-threatening hemolysis, kidney failure, and disseminated intravascular coagulation. This medium-sized spider reaches body lengths of 8 to 15 millimeters with characteristic violin-shaped marking on the cephalothorax and 6 eyes arranged in 3 pairs, inhabiting human dwellings throughout Chile, Argentina, Peru, and Ecuador. The species demonstrates remarkable cold tolerance and thrives in urban environments, leading to thousands of annual envenomations, with Chile reporting the highest recluse bite incidence globally. Old World ornamental tarantulas. These spectacularly patterned Indian and Sri Lankan tarantulas claim third position for producing some of the most agonizing muscle-related pain documented in arachnology. The genus Poecilotheria includes species like the Goody sapphire ornamental and Indian ornamental, whose venom causes pain described as a white-hot iron being plunged under the skin. The envenomation produces immediate intense burning at the bite site, followed within minutes by severe generalized muscle cramps involving the chest, abdomen, and extremities that can persist for weeks. Victims report muscle pain so severe that movement becomes difficult and even breathing requires conscious effort, with cramping episodes that come in waves of increasing intensity. The venom contains complex neurotoxins targeting voltage-gated sodium channels and causing persistent muscle fasciculations, with some victims experiencing residual muscle weakness and cramping for months following envenomation. These large arboreal tarantulas reach leg spans spans of 20 centimeters and display stunning blue, yellow, and black geometric patterns on their legs and carapace. The genus comprises 15 species endemic to India and Sri Lanka, inhabiting tree hollows in tropical forests and constructing tubular silk retreats. Unlike many tarantulas that give defensive threat displays before biting, Poecilotheria species demonstrate lightning-fast defensive strikes with minimal warning. The venom's potency, combined with the spider's nervous temperament and popularity in the exotic pet trade, results in numerous medically significant bites annually. Sydney funnel web spider. This iconic Australian species occupies second position as arguably the most aggressive spider on Earth, delivering bites that combine devastating mechanical trauma with rapid onset neurotoxic assault. Atrax robustus frequently latches onto victims to deliver multiple venom injections, slamming massive fangs exceeding 7 millimeters downward with the force of its entire body weight. This mechanical trauma causes immediate deep tissue damage and profuse bleeding, followed within minutes by unbearable pain at the bite site as the venom's delta atrachotoxin triggers uncontrolled neurotransmitter release. Victims report burning sensations, tongue numbness, muscle twitching, profuse sweating, nausea, vomiting, and in severe cases, life-threatening symptoms including severe hypertension, pulmonary edema, and potentially fatal respiratory failure. Prior to antivenom development in 1981, 13 deaths were attributed to Sydney funnel web envenomation, with children particularly vulnerable. Male specimens are responsible for virtually all serious envenomations, as they possess 6 times more toxic venom than females and wander extensively during warm, humid nights seeking mates, frequently entering homes and taking refuge in shoes and clothing. The species inhabits a 100-kilometer radius around Sydney within sandstone regions, constructing silk-lined tubular burrows under rocks and logs. The spider adopts an aggressive defensive posture when threatened, rearing up on hind legs with fangs extended and droplets of venom visible on fang tips, and will strike repeatedly if provoked. Brazilian wandering spider. This South American genus claims the top position for delivering the most agonizing spider envenomation documented globally. Phonutria species including Phonutria nigriventer and Phonutria fera produce bites described as excruciating and immediate, with fire-like sensations radiating from the bite site throughout the affected limb and torso. The pain is so severe that victims frequently require high-dose opioid analgesia and hospitalization, with the intensity often described as exceeding kidney stones or childbirth. A unique and notoriously painful symptom associated with this venom is priapism, a prolonged and painful erection that can persist for hours and lead to permanent tissue damage if untreated, caused by neurotoxins affecting smooth muscle control and nitric oxide release. The venom contains PHTX3 toxins that cause massive neurotransmitter release, producing extreme pain, muscle spasms, profuse sweating, vomiting, irregular heartbeat, elevated blood pressure, and potentially fatal respiratory paralysis. These large, aggressive spiders reach body lengths exceeding 5 centimeters with leg spans of 15 centimeters, covered in distinctive brown and yellow banding on the legs. The genus comprises 8 species, distributed throughout Central and South America, with Brazil reporting thousands of annual bites and several documented fatalities prior to antivenom availability. Unlike web-building spiders, Phonutria actively wanders forest floors and frequently enters homes, hiding in clothing, shoes, and produce boxes leading to defensive bites when disturbed. The species demonstrates aggressive defensive behavior, rearing up on hind legs in a characteristic threat posture and lunging forward to deliver multiple rapid strikes. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and drop a comment. See you on the next one.